All right, today we're getting into two of the most critical skills for any PHP developer, making your applications incredibly fast and finding and fixing bugs with absolute precision. This is all about what it takes to go from code that just works to code that works professionally. So last time, we laid the groundwork by talking about code quality. But having clean, standardized code, that's really just the starting line. Now, we're going to see how the pros take that solid code and get it ready for prime time. We're talking about optimizing for speed and making damn sure we can hunt down any issue that pops up when real users are on the site. So let's start with a feeling every single developer has had. Your code works perfectly on your laptop, it passes every test you throw at it, but the real questions are still out there. Is it actually fast enough, and is it stable enough to survive a sudden flood of users? Okay, let's get into performance. This is all about being proactive, right? It's about building for speed from the get-go, not just scrambling to fix things after the site has already slowed to a crawl. The best way to think about it is like tuning a high-performance car. You're not changing where the car is going, you're just making sure it gets there way faster using a lot less fuel. We want our app to do the exact same job, just much, much more efficiently. And the great news is, this isn't some dark art. There's a really clear 4-step playbook for this. And it all starts with the most important rule. You have to measure first. Before you touch a single line of code, you have to know where the actual problem is. And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. You absolutely cannot optimize what you can't measure. Trying to speed up your code without data is like trying to find your way in a dark room. You're just guessing. Measurement gives you the map. And that's exactly what profiling is for. A tool like Xdebug is basically a detective for your code. It watches every single function call, it tracks every last bit of memory, and it points directly to the culprits, the bottlenecks that are gumming up the works. Now, this slide shows one of the biggest wins in the entire performance world, caching. Without something like OPcache, your server is like a chef who has to pull out a cookbook and read the entire recipe from start to finish for every single person who orders food. It's just painfully repetitive. But with OPcache, the chef memorizes the recipe after the first time. Every order after that is basically instant. And honestly, here's the best part. Turning on this incredible performance boost is often as simple as flipping one switch in your configuration file. It is, hands down, one of the biggest improvements you can make for the least amounts of effort. Of course, caching isn't the whole story. Professionals also use PHP-FPM to act as a traffic controller, managing lots of requests so the server never gets overwhelmed. And they get their hands dirty by tuning the environment itself, tweaking settings like memory limit to give the app exactly the resources it needs. No more, no less. Okay, so your application is fast, it's humming along, but what happens when it doesn't do what you expect it to do? Even the most optimized code can have bugs, and this brings us to the other side of the coin, debugging. This is all about moving away from guesswork and towards precision. Come on, we've all done it. You just start throwing print statements all over your code, hoping you can spot where things went wrong. Professional debugging is about leaving that chaos behind. It's about using tools that give you real data, not just vague clues. And the key here is using the right tool for the job. In development, Xdebug is like a surgeon's scalpel. It lets you literally stop time, inspect every little detail, and dissect your code's logic. But you can't do that on a live server. That's where a tool like ZRay comes in. It's more like a drone flying overhead, monitoring everything in real time without interfering, helping you find the root cause of issues as they're happening. So, when you bring all of this together, the proactive performance work and the precise tool-based debugging, it adds up to more than just a list of skills. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about writing code. It's about adopting a professional mindset. This quote just nails it. You stop chasing ghosts. Instead of dealing with these weird, invisible problems, you're suddenly looking at cold, hard, measurable data. It turns a frustrating mystery into a simple equation you can solve. And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. As a professional, you don't just hope your code is fast, you make sure it's fast. Performance stops being an accident and becomes a feature that you deliberately engineer into your application. It's about control, not chance. So, now that we have an application that is both fast and stable, we can zoom out and look at the final piece of the puzzle. How does it talk to the rest of the world? We're talking about executing commands, managing servers, and connecting to web services. And that's exactly what we'll explore in our next explainer on system interactions and web services. Thanks for joining us.